Have you ever wondered about a goddess whose worship takes place in cremation grounds, where ashes of the dead are scattered everywhere and devotees don't hesitate to make sacrifices to earn her grace? Ma Tara, a name that symbolizes not just power but represents the deepest connection between Tantra, mystery, death, and life. Her worship doesn't involve flowers, but bones, ash, and meditation. Today's story is not just about a goddess, but about the most mysterious journey of the soul. In Hindu scriptures, Ma Tara is considered one of the 10 Mahavidyas, great wisdom goddesses. However, her identity isn't limited to just being a form of divine power. She tests a devotee's patience, inner strength, penance, and devotion. Ma Tara's form is fierce and terrifying, large red eyes, flowing hair, a body stained with blood and weapons in her hands. She wears a garland of severed heads around her neck and a crown of 5 skulls on her head. This sight may seem frightening, but this is the true beauty of the mother, as she purifies the soul by transcending fear. The story of Ma Tara's origin is as mysterious as her form. During the churning of the ocean, Samudra Manthan, when the deadly poison Hala Hala emerged and Lord Shiva drank it at the god's request, his body began turning blue. The poison's effect was so intense that Shiva's pain became unbearable. At that moment, the Adi Shakti took the form of Ma Tara. She transformed Lord Shiva into an infant and fed him nectar like milk from her breasts, neutralizing the poison's effect. This is why she is also called the Mother of Shiva, a goddess complete in both compassion and cosmic dance. The main center of Ma Tara's worship is Tara Peeth in West Bengal. This temple isn't just a religious site, but a great center of tantric practice. The cremation ground here, called Mahashamshan, is as famous as the temple itself. Aghori sadhus and tantrics have been practicing here for years. They meditate sitting on funeral pyres, build shelters from skulls, and invite Ma Tara at night. The very air of this place carries a different energy, a vibration that can disturb an ordinary person. Many devotees offer sacrifices at this temple: goats, coconuts, or liquor, all offered to the mother. But the real sacrifice is when a seeker abandons their ego, greed, and fear to surrender completely at the mother's feet. Ma Tara's worship is a blessing for some and a test for others. One mystery of her practice is that if the seeker's mind wavers, the practice fails and the consequences can be fatal. Tantra is a science, not a game. The worship rituals considered highly secret among tantrics are performed not in daylight but in darkness in cremation grounds. The seeker must sit alone and chant the special seed mantra, Om Hreem Streem Hum Phat. This practice completely transforms the seeker's mind and consciousness. It's said that if fear or attachment overwhelms during the practice, the seeker can suffer damage on both mental and spiritual levels. Therefore, a guru's guidance is essential before undertaking such practices. Mother Tara has 108 names, each carrying its own unique meaning and significance. These include Tara, Ugra Tara, Neel Saraswati, Mahashamshana Vasini, and Bhairavi Tara. All these are different manifestations of the same divine energy that appears according to the devotee's spiritual disposition and emotional state. During spiritual practice, chanting these sacred names creates a divine aura around the practitioner that protects them from negative forces and malevolent energies. When we speak of renowned practitioners, many great tantric masters devoted themselves to Mother Tara's worship, including Bhamakhepa, Ramakrishna Paramahansa, and Rani Rasmani. Bhamakhepa was considered the most celebrated practitioner at Tara Peeth during his time. It is said that Mother Tara would appear directly before him and respond to his prayers and conversations. His spiritual practice was so profound that people called him semi-mad because he had transcended the ordinary boundaries of time and space. Mother Tara's worship extends beyond India to Tibet, Nepal, and Bhutan. In Buddhism, Tara is revered as the goddess of compassion. There she primarily manifests in two forms, White Tara and Green Tara. White Tara is the goddess of longevity and protection, while Green Tara is considered the mother who saves devotees from dangers and difficulties. Tibetan monks begin their day by chanting Mother Tara's hymns and mantras. This practice is considered so powerful that in Tibetan culture, Tara is honored with the title of Bodhisattva. In modern times, Mother Tara's spiritual practice remains as relevant as it was in ancient times. In today's world where everyone struggles with anxiety, depression and mental pressures, Mother Tara's worship provides mental stability and inner strength. However, this practice is not suitable for everyone as it is difficult, mysterious and mentally challenging. But once a practitioner receives Mother's grace, they are never alone in life. An interesting aspect of traditions related to Mother Tara involves the sacred soil from her temples. The earth from Tarapeeth in West Bengal is considered highly significant, and many people carry it home to place in their personal spaces of reverence. According to traditional beliefs, this soil symbolizes protection and positive energy. There are several places in India where Mother Tara is specially honored, many of which are not widely known. For example, a few miles from Assam's Kamakhya region, there is a mountain cave historically linked to quiet spiritual practices. Another location exists in a small village in Himachal Pradesh's Kullu region, where local people believe the mother's presence is especially strong. While Mother Tara is often described in her powerful and protective form, she also has gentle and compassionate aspects. One such form is Neel Saraswati, associated with wisdom in speech. Students and scholars often connect with this aspect when seeking clarity and knowledge. Another form, Ugra Tara, is symbolically linked with justice and the removal of negativity. Similarly, the Mahalakshmi Tara aspect represents abundance and prosperity. All these forms are understood as expressions of the same divine energy, appearing in different ways according to the devotee's outlook and needs. However, traditional teachings emphasize certain precautions. These practices are not meant for casual curiosity. They are regarded as requiring discipline, stability, and guidance. Without proper preparation, it is said that the energy of such practices can feel overwhelming. For this reason, cultural narratives suggest that deep or advanced forms of Tara practices should be approached with care and under responsible guidance. The practitioner should maintain a regulated diet, pure speech, and a virtuous lifestyle consistently. Some tantric traditions also believe that before beginning Mata Tara worship, the practitioner should first worship Hanuman or Ganesha to remove obstacles from the path. Additionally, it's essential to practice in a pure and peaceful environment free from any disturbances. The transformation that comes through Mother Tara's grace is not merely external but profoundly internal. A practitioner's life becomes peaceful, stable, and fearless from within. The fears that previously held us captive, fear of death, failure, or social judgment, dissolve in the mother's presence. The practitioner then transcends being merely an individual and becomes a vessel for that divine energy which operates, transforms, and destroys to recreate the universe. Mother Tara is not just a deity. She is the very power that stands as light even in darkness, providing support. She guides us on life's paths where ordinary humans fear to tread. But once the mother has taken someone's hand, no power can frighten that practitioner. Therefore, worshipping Mother Tara is a journey, an endless, profound, and transcendental journey. This journey begins externally, but its ultimate destination lies in inner consciousness. And at the center of that consciousness burns only one light, that of Mother Tara. Now let us discuss the miraculous events connected with Mother Tara, which are not only experienced by serious practitioners but also deeply recorded in the lives of ordinary devotees. Many devotees report that during times of crisis, Mother Tara has appeared to them in one form or another, providing divine intervention and guidance. Sometimes appearing as an elderly woman, sometimes as a young girl, and often in dreams as a brilliant light. A devotee from West Bengal shared that when he was about to commit suicide after losing his job, Mother Tara appeared to him in a dream and said, "Your crisis will end, have faith." The very next week, he found a new job. Such countless stories are testimony to the Mother's grace. The supernatural experiences encountered in tantric practices are no less mysterious. Many practitioners have transcended the boundaries of time and space during meditation. Some devotees report that during meditation, they not only feel the Mother's presence but also experience divine fragrances, invisible mantra sounds, and mysterious lights around them. Such experiences in tantric practice are not ordinary. They symbolize profound levels of the practitioner's consciousness. Now let us compare Mother Tara's place in the Vedas and Tantra. Where the Vedic tradition views the goddess in a more peaceful, gentle, and maternal form, the Tantric tradition considers her the ultimate embodiment of power, fire, and intuition. In the Vedas, Shakti is described in the forms of Saraswati, Lakshmi, and Parvati, while in Tantra, the same power manifests as Tara, Chinnamasta, and Bhairavi. These two perspectives complement each other. One is gentle, the other fierce. One involves external worship, the other internal practice. The presence of Mother Tara can be deeply observed in regional folklore as well. In the tribal areas of Jharkhand and Odisha, Mother Tara is called Kalima, or the forest mother. In folk tales, Mother Tara is considered the protector of forests, one who saves from diseases and the deity who protects women during pregnancy. Her idols are often made of clay or wood, and worship follows completely traditional methods in nature's embrace without any formal temple. Some foreign scholars and researchers have shown deep interest in the tantric aspects of Mother Tara. The English writer Sir John Woodroffe, also known as Pandit Ananda Nath, extensively mentioned Mother Tara's mantras and practices in his book The Serpent Power. According to him, Tara's practice is not merely for gaining power, but for connecting the soul with its original nature. He also noted that it might take Western science several decades to understand the depth of tantric practices. The interpretation of Mother Tara's mantras is extremely fascinating and profound. For example, Om Hreem Stream Hum Phat. Here Hreem is the seed of power that invites the Mother's grace. Stream is the seed of knowledge and consciousness that gives light to the practitioner. Hum symbolizes protection, and Phat is the explosion of power that destroys all obstacles. When this mantra is repeatedly chanted while sitting on cremation ashes in the cremation ground, it creates a divine protective shield around the practitioner. Now let's discuss the inner journey of a practitioner that begins with Mother Tara's grace. This journey may appear ordinary from the outside, meditation, mantra chanting, worship, but within, it burns like a fierce fire that consumes every impression, fear, attachment, and ego of the practitioner. Gradually, the practitioner rises above worldly concerns, neither disturbed by joy nor frightened by sorrow. Life and death become equal for them. This is Mother Tara's true initiation: fearlessness, stability, and self-realization. Some practitioners become so fearless through Mother's practice that they meditate sitting before the funeral pyre in cremation grounds. They accept death as the goddess sitting before them. For them, the cremation ground becomes not a place of fear, but a sacred place of penance. A famous tantric once said, "The cremation ground is where your false self burns and your true self stands before Mother Tara." Finally, Mother Tara's practice becomes such a unique experience that it touches every aspect of life: body, mind, soul, and emotions. Then the practitioner is no longer just a practitioner. They become part of the Tantra itself. They feel the Mother's power within themselves, and that same power manifests through their speech, vision, and actions. So friends, this is not the end of this journey filled with mystery and practice, but a beginning.
If Mother Tara's worship is performed with right intention and surrender, it can transform not just life but the very nature of the soul. Jai Ma Tara.